Hello and welcome to the Voice of Todd. I'm Tom, and today, in this video, we're going to talk about The Expanse Season 5, Episode 3, Mother. Quick overview as we do with these reviews. We open up with a system map of the solar system, showing Earth, Mars, I think it was Ceres Station as well. And it looks like part of rock number 9 from Episode 1. And a timer counting down to an impact. Then straight over to Luna, where Delgado is mixing Avasarala a drink, much to her annoyance, with the shaking of the cocktail shaker and the ice. They're joined in the empty office's mess by Dr. Alui, who is I think he was a civilian scientist, for a highly confidential conversation about the data the Hasami had that they were managed to get from the wreckage. Avasarala is so convinced that Inaros is planning to attack Earth that she's looking for any way to prove herself at this point. It's a great scene, I think. Really good scene to start off the bat, and you get quite a bit of interplay with Delgado and Avasarala, which is nice. We then jump over to the two ships, the DeWalt and the Mautri. This is Drummer's fleet, I guess. The drummer wakes up as ship's thrusters kick in, and they have found the Tynan. Her and her crew head out to see the extent of the damage to the ship, and the Tynan has just been stripped. There's very little of worth left, but it hasn't been destroyed. It's been left as a warning by Marco. We jump over to Tycho Station. Monica, now in the medbay, is showing Holden and Johnson the footage that she has of a Belter Strike team kidnapping the scientist from Season 1 who worked for Mao Kwikowski Mercantile. The one who worked on the protomolecule way back in Season 1. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy, it looked like him. Fred Johnson again confirms that he doesn't know anything about this. Dawes does get a mention. Maybe we'll get to see Dawes again. That would be cool, because he's a pretty cool character. But the two men are pretty much cutting Monica out of this now. They're leaving her to recovery in medbay, and they're trying to formulate their own plan of what they're going to do and flush out the moles on the station. We then jump to the Chetzamoka, and Naomi is headed to Palace Station in her search for Philip. Her fame has won her a few friends and quite a big target on her back by the looks of it. Her fellow Belters feel that she's left them behind, and she thinks she's better than them. She gets into a spot of bother until Sin and Corral, some old acquaintances of hers from a long time ago, step in to help her out. Again, a really nice scene, a nice reunion scene with Sin and Naomi. We then jump over to Mars. Alex in preparation for his date, and Bobby, they're following the threads of their conspiracy. Bobby's sure that it's Salvatore. Alex heads out to try and find some information that they can use from Salvatore's PA, who he's on the date with, Lieutenant Emily Babbage. She's a pretty smooth operator though, and she runs rings around Alex. Let's leave it at that. Back over to the Tynan, and Drummer is following the breadcrumbs while her crew make essential repairs to get the ship spaceworthy. She finds Ashford's belongings, including the backup data of the ship that he's hidden. And on the disc, or the data box, is his final recording, which is the conversation between him and Marco before he was spaced. Drummer now has 3 ships. One of them is pretty knackered, but 3 armed ships in her fleet, and she's decided to join the hunt for Inaros for the bounty. There's a $20 million bounty, or 20 million credit bounty on his head. So she's in it for that, and clearly revenge. Back over to Tycho, and Sakai is hacking through the shipping manifestos over on the station just to find out where the container was going, who it belongs to, and try and work out who would want to kill Monica. Bull and Holden, given a name of a business, head out on a hunt of their own, but their prey's already dead when they get to the apartment. Back to Alex, who is trying to be as charming as possible, I have to say. He's not very good at the espionage thing, but he is trying to find out any information through Emily. She does slip the name of her ship that she's going out on a supply run with, the Barkeef. I think that this whole sequence is just her playing with Alex. Maybe dropping her guard a little bit to give him the name. But she does kiss him, and as he's heading back to his hotel room, he is ambushed, drugged, and questioned about his interest in Salvatore. Luckily for him though, Bobby isn't far behind, and she manages to save him after a little bit of a brawl. This is another great scene. We then head back over to Drummer. She's really starting to crack with the death of Ashford. She knew it was probably the case anyway, but it's really hit her hard. Luckily she does have a family who have her back. We get a totally different side to her in this episode, and probably for the rest of the season. She's not the rock solid commander that she was in the previous season. She's struggling a little bit, and she's definitely changed. She's allowing herself to be more vulnerable and open up a little bit. She's very exposed in this, I think, but she's definitely found a place to call home, and I think that we're going to see a lot more of this and a lot more of Drummer. She decides to send Ashford's data to Johnson, but has said that this isn't her fight. We'll see how long that lasts. Back on Palace Station, Naomi is sitting in the canteen. I think it's the same bar that she was in. And Philip comes to meet her. He's pretty angry about how she left him as a child, and he doesn't really want to build any bridges. This is a scene that really worked for me. It really sort of resonated with me. I've been in a similar situation, and this one did pull up my heartstrings. Again, I'm really sorry, I'm going to butcher this name. I think it's Jesse Chase Owens, the actor who plays Philip. He's a really good addition to the cast this season as well. He's getting better every time I see him in this, and he's got a lot to work with. So that's really cool to see. Back over to Tycho, and Johnson gets Drummer's message as Holden and Bull give him the bad news about their lead, as both of them are dead. But they were able to get more information, and the transport ship that was on its way to pick up the container with Monica in still on the way, so they decide to set a trap. We'll see how well that plays out. And then back on the Jetsumoka, Naomi's about to message Holden as Philip walks in, closely followed by Sin and Corral, and they take her hostage and take the ship onwards, probably back to Philip's father. We then head over to Luna, and things are getting worse for Avasarala. Delgado has done all he can. He's probably burned as many bridges as Avasarala has with what they've been doing together, and he's not prepared to do his reputation any more damage. He says that he's out. She's now out of allies. She seemingly lost everything. She reaches out to Arjun, telling him, but probably more trying to convince herself that what she's doing is still important. And as she turns the lights out in her office, very solemn. Again, another wonderfully shot scene. Her comm terminal buzzes, and Johnson has forwarded Ashford's data to her as a stealth meteor passes through Earth's defences unnoticed. The final scene's one I've been looking forward to for a long time since I read the book, as we have a lone fisherman. I googled the sign, and it sounds like this is, or I think that this is on a South African dock. The lone fisherman watches a meteor plunge into the ocean, causing a huge tidal wave. And that's where the episode ends. So after this episode, we've got Fred, Bull, Monica and Holden on the hunt for the protomolecule. Naomi, trying to face the demons of her past, is now captive by the people who she was trying to save. Alex and Bobby are on the hunt of their own, trying to track down where the leak in the MCRN is. Now Viscerala is watching everything fall around her as Earth's fate hangs in the balance. This episode was directed by Thomas Jane, who played Miller in the earlier seasons. I think he's a really good actor, and this has shown that he's got some real pedigree as a director. There's so many moving parts and so many places going on. I really feel that, again, just like the last few episodes, the story takes front and centre. This episode really worked for me. I think he did a great job. I thought the pacing was great. I thought the performances were just amazing. There's so much emotion on show from a lot of these scenes, especially with Drummer and Naomi. They did fantastic jobs. We're on episode 3, the first sort of week that the new season has aired, and we're already got so much going on. There's huge amounts just kicking off everywhere, all over the system, with all our characters in different places. There's a lot to really get into. No Amos this time, but I think we'll be seeing quite a bit of him in the next episode. I do think that Amazon could have dropped each of these 3 episodes over the first 3 weeks instead of all together. I kind of understand why they did it this way, especially with the cliffhanger ending of episode 3. I can't wait for next Wednesday and episode 4. It's going to be a long wait. We're on Thursday now at time of recording. I am already totally invested in this season. It's going from strength to strength, and this, I love it. I absolutely love it. This is second time sort of around watching each of the episodes. It's so good. This season is so special. And that's where I'm going to leave this one. I've got nothing else to say apart from how in love with this season I am, and how everybody seems to be on top form and just really bringing their A game. I hope you're all enjoying the show as well, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.